morning all. So today we are going to discuss about the uh, microwave network analysis. As I have told that last class we will discuss Smith chart and regarding the Smith chart, whatever the transmission lines we can easily solve the transmission line problems with the help of this Smith chart. But the thing is that Smith chart I couldn't take the printout due to some sort of reasons and all. So the Smith chart and related to those things we will discuss later on. Once this lockdown gets over, I will take the printouts and I will discuss and prepare a video for that and I will share with you. Okay. But for the time being, we'll enter to the module 2. This is module 2, and that is discuss about module 1 we have covered. Only the Smith chart is left, but rest of the thing we have covered completely. This is the first part of module 2, that is called microwave network analysis. Okay. Now since this microwave network analysis means it have the relations with respect to the circuit analysis what we have studied in our network theory. Okay. In that we have studied impedance matching, we have studied impedance matrix, admittance matrix, ABCD parameters, the different sort of parameters we have studied for a complete network. If it is a 2-port, depend upon the 2-port how many number of parameters will be there, 4 parameters, because it is 2 cross 2 parameters we are going to discuss. Similarly, if it is an impedance matching, then again it depends upon the number of ports, how much port is available in the given question. Similarly, if there are nth port are there, that means n cross n matrix we have to form. So those things already you people know. Just I am going to give a brief introduction about that impedance matching, admittance matching and all. Why? Because here whatever the things we are going to discuss in microwave, it have a certain network. Okay. Similarly, network means it will have n number of ports. Power, it can be used for power division, it can be used for power combiner, it can be used for a transmission of a particular information from sender end to the receiver end. How many number of ports are there, different number of devices are there. Okay. So in this microwave analysis we are going to analyze with respect to the potential and current, because here whatever the thing we have discussed last class, all we have discussed with respect to potential and current. So potential and current we are going to analyze once again, and we will see how these potential and currents are represented with respect to the different ports. Okay. So in microwave there are one more parameter it will come, that is called S parameter, scattering parameter. The scattering itself indicates that power distribution of a particular, suppose if I will provide the power at port 1, what is the, if there are 3 available ports are there, what are the power is available is going to be in the other 3 ports. If I am feeding at 1 port, total is 4 port. Let us consider a 4 port device. One port 1 is excited with some sort of potential and current, but what are the effect we are going to see with respect to port 1 with port 2, port 3 and port 4. So depend upon the relationship between these ports, and we are going to identify with respect to power relation. Till now this impedance matrix, admittance matrix, ABCD parameter, whatever the parameter you have learned, it is all related with respect to potential and current. Okay. But now here we are going to analyze with respect to the scattering parameter. Scattering parameter, or we can say it is called depend upon the normalized power component. Okay. So this normalized component also we have to represent. So first of all I will discuss with respect to the impedance and admittance, so that some brush up will be there for the thing which you people have learned before. Then we will go to the scattering parameter. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the impedance matrix and admittance matrix, and what are the properties are there. Properties means whether it is a reciprocity, whether it is a symmetric, whether it is a lossless, depend upon the criteria of a particular network. Okay. So let me draw a nth port network. Okay, so this let it be port 1, let it be port 2, let us consider this is port 3, let us consider this is port 4, dot dot dot, let us consider this is as port nth port. Okay, it is called nth port network. Okay, now for example, if I am representing two port network, first we will see the basics and then we will enter to the nth port. Okay, so for two port network means, let us consider this is a device and it is having a two port. Two port means from both this side power can be provided. So let us consider this is port 1 and this is port 2. So it is called two port network. And this two port network can be in a T form or as well as pi form. This thing you people have already known in your network theory subject, that how this T network and pi network are going to be analyzed. Okay, so here I have only used the two port network. So in this two port network, when I am using the impedance matrix, here I will provide V1, okay, here I will provide V2, here it is current I2, here it is current I1. Okay, now if you form a relationship between V1 by I1, you are going to identify Z11. So let me write the impedance matrix for this. So impedance matrix means this one will be V1 and this one will be V2. Okay, and here it is Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22, and here it is current I1 and I2. So if it is a two port network, how many number of impedance parameter will be there? 4 number of parameter, 4 number of combinations will be there. One, V1 with respect to I1, second V1 with respect to I2, third V2 with respect to I1, and fourth V2 with respect to I2. So there are 4 possible combinations of parameters we can generate. Okay, so if I will write this equation as V1 is equals to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. This is the first equation, and V2 is equals to Z21 I1 and Z22 I2. Okay. Now with the help of this analogy or these equations, you can determine the parameters called Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22. Now if you want to determine Z11 and Z21, that means your input current at the port 2 must be 0. So what I will write, V1 at I2 is equals to 0, we will get, sorry, this is Z11. Here if you substitute I2 as 0, you will get Z11 is equals to V1 by I1 at I2 is equals to 0. Okay, this is Z11 parameter. Similarly, Z21 you can determine as V2 by I1 at I2 is equals to 0. If I2 is equals to 0 means no current available at the port 2, but V2 is available means due to the potential of V1, some potential drop will be there in port 2. So this is Z11, Z12. Similarly, here Z12 you can determine as V1 divided by I2 at I1 is equals to 0. Okay. Now there is a relationship between V1 and I2. So for that what will happen? I1 must be equal to 0. This particular part, it must be 0. Similarly, Z22 is equals to V2 by I2 and I1 is equals to 0. So these are the 4 different parameters of an impedance matrix through which we can form a 4 possible combination, because there are 2 ports are there. So 4 possible combination means what? V1 with respect to I1, V1 with respect to I2, V2 with respect to I1 and V2 with respect to I2. So these all are called as our impedance. Okay, impedance. Impedance means it is a ratio of potential with respect to current. If this potential and this current we are relating, it is called as a transfer function. Okay. Similarly, V2 by I1 it is also called as a transfer function. But when it is V1 and I1 and V2 by I2, it is called as the impedance at port 1 and impedance at port 2. These are the transfer impedance and these are the impedance at the port 1 and port 2. So Z11, Z22, Z21, Z12. So these are the small relations if it is a port 2. If you consider for port 3, there are 3 ports are available. That means how many number of parameters we are going to identify? We are going to identify 9 parameters. Okay, Z11, Z12, Z13, then Z21, Z22, Z23, Z31, Z232, Z33. So these are the certain impedance factor will come. If the number of ports are increasing, your impedance parameter is going to be increased. Similarly, here I have discussed with respect to the impedance matching. Here we can also analyze with respect to the admittance also. If it is a two-port network, that means there will be 4 admittance parameter. Okay. So here I have discussed with respect to the impedance matrix for two-port network. Similarly, you can discuss for 3-port network also. Similarly, we can discuss for 4-port network. But the thing is that if it is 2-port, if it is here, if I will make a table, here number of ports and here number of parameter. If it is impedance or if it is admittance, if it is 2-port network, we will have 4 parameter. Okay. If it is a 3-port network, we will have 9 parameter. If it is 4-port network, we will have 16 parameter. If it is a 5-port network, we will have 25 parameter. So that means this is nothing but n cross n value. Okay. If n is 2, number of port is 2, that means number of parameters is going to be 4. If the ports are 3, that means the total number of parameters we are going to identify as 9. If it is 4, then it is 16, and if it is 5, it is 25, and so on. Depend upon the number of ports. So depend upon the number of ports, we are going to identify the number of parameters. So here I have discussed with respect to the Z, this is called impedance matrix. Now we will discuss with respect to the admittance matrix for the same network, for the 2-port network. Okay. Okay. So now if I am going to identify the admittance parameter for the same 2-port network. Okay. So what will happen? As we know that current is equals to admittance matrix into potential. Here in impedance matrix we have a relation V is equals to impedance into I. So from that we have derived Z11, Z12 and Z21 and Z22. Okay. Similarly, admittance matrix for the 2-port network, if it is 2-port network means how many parameters? The total number of parameters are 4. Okay. So what are the parameters? Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22. Okay. So here all are represented in terms of potential and current. So what will be our Y11 and all? Let me resolve this, which is equals to I1 and I2 is multiplied with V1 and V2. Okay. So let me write I1 equation first. Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2. I2 is equals to Y21 V1 Y22 V2. So these are the two equations. Okay. Now from these two equations we are going to determine what is y11. Suppose if I am going to identify y11. So y11 means it is I1 by V1, making V2 as 0. Always remember, when we are calculating the impedance matrix, we are discussing about the open circuit sometimes, because I2 equals to 0 means open circuit, I1 equals to 0 means open circuit. But when we are going to discuss about this admittance, we are going to discuss about the short circuit, because now V2 is 0 means the short circuit potential is 0. So I1 by V1, V2 is equals to 0. That means port 2 is short circuited, so that we are determining the impedance at port 1, that is Y11. Similarly, Y21 is equals to I2 by V1. That means current with respect to potential of input 1, where V2 is equals to 0. Similarly, Y12 is equals to I1 by V2 and V1 is equals to 0, and Y22 is equals to I2 by V2 and V1 is equals to 0. So these are the four parameters for admittance. Why it is 4 parameter? Because maximum 4 possible combination we are going to discuss. So there are two admittance and there are two transfer admittance. Transfer admittance means relationship between one port with respect to the other port. So these are the simple relations which we have already studied in the circuit theory or the network theory, what you can say. So I am not going into deep of this, because already these things we have learned. So using those things as a reference, we will proceed further how we are going to analyze this nth type of ports. Okay, if it is a nth port, we don't know how many number of ports are there. It can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4. So if it is 2, 4 parameter. If it is 3, 9 parameter. If it is 4 port, that means 16 parameter. If it is 5 port, there are 25 parameters we are going to discuss. Okay, so these are the simple relations through which we can analyze which particular port we are going to short and which particular port we are going to open, to identify the impedance value as well as our admittance value. Okay, impedance and admittance. So this is for 2 port network I have discussed. You can discuss for 3 port also as well as 4 port. But if we are discussing 3 port, remember that we are discussing about 9 parameters. And if we are discussing about 4 port, that means there will be a 16 parameter. If we are discussing about 5 port, 25 parameters. Okay. Now we will see. And what is the relationship between this admittance and impedance? It is just inversely proportional. Z, Y inverse. So this is the relation for impedance and admittance. This is also one sort of relations. Now, in order to analyze for that nth port, what I have told, your matrix for impedance matrix and admittance matrix you can represent as suppose if I am discussing about impedance matrix for nth port, we will have Z11, Z12 dot dot Z1n, Z21, Z22, Z2n dot 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 Zn1 dot 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 Znn. So this is the impedance matrix for nth port. Okay. Similarly, the admittance matrix for nth port you can write as Y11, Y12 dot dot Y1n, Y21 dot dot Y2n dot dot N1 and here it is Yn. So depend upon the number of ports, your parameters are going to be identified. If it is nth port, represent this. If n is equals to 2, that means only 4 parameter. If n is equals to 3, that means 9 parameter, as I have discussed earlier. So depend upon this analogy, we are going to identify some relations: reciprocity, symmetric and lossless. Because since it is a network, there are two type of mediums what we have discussed earlier. One is lossless and one is lossy. Lossless means losses will be there, but it is very negligible. Maximum output we can extract. But what are the conditions for that lossless, that we have to see with respect to this parameter. Now we have seen with lossless line what are the parameters are there, what are the factors will come. The z0 is equals to root over of L by C. Then your propagation constant only depend upon the phase constant, attenuation constant is 0. Those are the criteria for lossless line. Similarly, that line I can use for as a two-port network. If it is a two-port network, that means again it will come in terms of impedance and admittance. Now if it is comes in impedance and admittance, I cannot refer those parameter what I have already identified, like Z0, what is our phase constant, all are in terms of lumped parameter. But when I am entering to this network analysis, that lumped parameters I am not going to discuss. I am going to discuss rather than with respect to potential and current. Incident potential, incident current, reflected potential, reflected current. Because as we have identified the wave solution, that V of S is having the incident potential V0 plus and V0 minus. Similarly, current we have I0 plus and I0 minus at Z position as 0. If you change the value of Z, your parameter is going to be changed. Same thing we are going to identify with respect to the impedance. So in terms of impedance, how we can justify that whole network is a reciprocal network or a lossless line, or it is a symmetric, whatever it is. Okay, so that thing we will discuss now. Okay, so this is our N-port microwave network. Okay, so when we are discussing about this microwave and all, the thing will come into our mind that incident wave will be there, reflected wave will be there. Now we have to represent in terms of potential and current. So we have the solution of the wave equation in terms of potential and current as V plus and V minus with respect to Vs of Z. The solutions what we have got with respect to d square Vs by dz square is equals to gamma square into Vs of Z. From this, the solution we have got V0 plus e to the power minus gamma Z and V0 minus e to the power plus gamma Z. Okay, this is the first wave equation. And second is d square Is of Z by dz square is equals to gamma square Is of Z. Okay, and what is the solution for this? This solution is Is of Z is equals to I0 plus e to the power minus gamma Z and I0 minus e to the power plus gamma Z. So these are the two solutions for a wave equation when we are dealing with the potential and current in a transmission line or a two-port network. So whenever we are going to discuss with respect to network, always we have to remember the potential and current need to be analyzed. So when I am representing potential and current, that means I am discussing about the impedance and admittance part. But when I will discuss in terms of power, then I will say it is called in terms of scattering parameter. That is the this microwave have a scattering parameter rather than impedance and admittance. But why we are going for scattering parameter, that also I will discuss. Okay, but for the time being we will see what is the features of a wave equation, how it can be analyzed with respect to the impedance and admittance. So as I have discussed earlier as two-port network for impedance part, two-port network for admittance part, So that is Z11, Z12 and all what we have related. Now since if we consider that waveform in terms of potential and current, that means it will have two components. One is incident, one is reflected. As you can see in this V naught plus is indicate it is a positive Z and this is as negative Z direction. Okay, V naught plus means incident potential, V naught minus means reflected potential. Similarly, I naught plus is the incident current and I naught minus is the reflected current. So that I have represented in this particular network for nth network. Okay, let's see. At port 1, incident potential I have represented as V1 plus and I1 plus. Reflected potential I have represented as V1 minus and I1 minus, because at this port what is the incident, what is the reflected potential and current is available. Similarly, for port 2, here you can see the wave is entering to this port. That means whenever the wave is entering, that means it is called incident. And when the wave is coming out from that port, it is called reflected. So here I have written V2 plus and I2 plus incident. V2 minus, I2 minus is reflected back. Similarly for port 3, similarly for port 4, similarly for port nth port. So Vn plus, In plus, Vn minus, In minus. Okay. How to represent? So incident potential and incident current. So incident part is Vn plus and In plus. Reflected is Vn minus and minus of In minus. Now when we are representing in this term, the current is automatically as called as a negative current, minus n. Okay. So here I have represented Vn is equals to Vn plus plus Vn minus. In is equals to In plus minus In minus. Here I am representing in terms of negative current. Okay, negative current. But the relation what we have discussed earlier in our wave equation, that I naught plus plus I naught minus. So here directly I am representing for the negative current. This will indicate as a negative current, reflected current. So directly I am writing as a minus In minus. Need not to confuse. It is both are same. So these are the potential and current. Now, as our network, here what I have discussed in impedance matrix and admittance matrix, if it is called as a reciprocal, it is called as also called as a symmetric. That means S12 is equals to S21 and Y12 is equals to Y21. Let us consider for two-port network. Okay. So for two-port network. So if it is two-port network, this condition must be satisfied if it is reciprocal. Reciprocal means if it is Z12 is equals to Z21 or Y12 is equals to Y21. So these are equal and I is not equals to J. If I is equals to J means that Z11 is equals to Z22 we will get. Okay. So this is called as our reciprocal network, and this is our it is also called a symmetric condition also. Sij is equals to Sji, or you can say it is called Yij is equals to Yji. And for two-port network, you can write as Z11 is Z12 is equals to Z21 and Z or Y12 is equals to Y21. So these are the simple relation, but we need to prove it. This reciprocal condition we need to prove it. How that condition will come into picture, because here we are discussing in terms of potential and current, but actually this potential and current are analyzed in terms of electric field and magnetic field. So how that power is going to be delivered in that particular network. Suppose if I am providing the power here, how much power we are analyzing in this particular network. So that is analyzed with respect to the Poynting theorem. So Poynting theorem means E cross H will come into picture. E is related to the potential and H is related to the current. So V into I is the total power which can be analyzed in terms of electric field and magnetic field. Okay. So we will analyze the reciprocity theorem with the help of electric field and magnetic field which is crossing through a particular cross section. Okay. Okay, so this is a small derivation which I have written for you, as we need to cover the session little bit in a faster mode. So I have written the derivation. I will explain all these things step by step. Okay. So reciprocity theorem states what? Our Yij must be equal to Yji, or Zij is equals to Ji. Okay. So this is the reciprocity theorem. But how to obtain this? The question comes. In order to obtain this particular relation, first we need to identify the incident potential, incident current, reflected potential, reflected current, each port. Okay. Let us consider two port network. This is the nth port. Short circuit rest of the port except 1 and 2. If 1 and 2 are uh, connected with some sort of transmission line, that means incident potential, reflected potential, incident current, reflected current will be obtained for each port, port 1 and 2, and others are short circuited. Short circuited means potential is 0 for that case. Okay. So I have used for the two port network and have analyzed it. How? Let's see. Let all the ports be short circuit except the port 1 and port 2. Done. Now when we are identifying with respect to potential and current, but when the potential and current are fit to the ports, the electric field and magnetic fields are come into picture. Okay. So in that particular medium, the electric field and magnetic fields are going to propagate. So I am analyzing the whole concept with respect to the electric field and magnetic field. Let's see. So here EA, HA, EB and HB, these are the two electric field and two magnetic field with respect to port A and port B. So here two ports are available means I am considering it is port A and this one is considered as port B. Done. So each port will have incident as well as reflected. Done. So here EA, HA and EB and HB due to the two independent source 1 and source 2. Done. Now with respect to the source, what are the possible combination of fields we can generate? Let's see. So field due to the source A and B, but before that we need to see that the total power we are going to deliver. The total power is going to deliver through this cross section. Okay. Through this cross section A and B, A is the incident potential and B is the reflected potential. So EA cross HB is equals to EB cross HA. So this indicates that incident electric field with the reflected magnetic field, if you multiply, it must be equal to the reciprocity, means I comma J must be equal to J comma I, we have to see. So A cross B is equals to B cross H. If it is equal, then we can identify the reciprocity theorem. And here it is EA and HB, it indicate it is a incident incident field and the reflected field. So here I will say this A is incident and B is reflected. Similarly, this is A is incident and B is reflected. Now this A and B is nothing but the normalized form of a potential, normalized component. As I have told earlier, when we are discussing about the impedance matrix and admittance matrix, we are directly using the potential of port 1 and potential of port 2. But when we are going to the microwave network, in that case we have to analyze with respect to the normalized power component. You can see this E cross H is nothing but a power component which is crossing through the port 1 cross section, which is must be equal to the power crossing through this port 2. Okay. Now how we are going to identify incident with respect to the reflection? Then only we will obtain Yij is equals to Yji or Zij is equals to Zji. So here I have considered the total power with respect to incident and reflected must be equal at port A at port 1 and port 2. So EA cross HB, EA cross HB is equals to EB cross HA. If it is equal, that means maximum power we are delivering to this particular port. Okay. Now these are the field components. As we have two signals, one is incident, one is reflected. Similarly for V1 we will get E1, and for I1 we will get H1. Okay. Similarly for the reflected one, V1 minus, we will get E1, and similarly for I1 we will get H1. So as I have represented, A is for incident, B is for reflected. So here you can see E1 is equals to V1 into small e1. Small e1 is the transverse model field. Is a transverse field, normalized component. Here I am discussing about the normalized component. Similarly, H1A is equals to I1 into H1. So E is related to the potential, okay, and E1 is the normalized direction. Similarly, H1, this is with respect to V1 and this is with respect to I1 plus, okay. Plus means incident, incident means A, reflected means B. So first I am identifying with respect to incident at port 1 and reflected at port B. Now reflected is what? B. So for B we are having V1 minus. So here I have written it is E1B is equals to V1B and E1. So V1B is what? It is the reflected potential. Here I have represented in terms of electric field. Similarly, with respect to the reflected current, magnetic field is going to be analyzed. That I have written H1B. B is the reflected, 1 means for the port 1. Similarly, for the port 2 also we can write as E2A is equals to V2A into E2. Similarly, H2 with respect to the incident current, and E2B is with respect to reflected, and H2B is called as our reflected current at the port 2. So there are 4 basic parameters we have identified. One with respect to incident, one with respect to the reflected. Incident potential related with incident electric field. Reflected potential is indicated with reflected electric field. So incident with respect to reflected magnetic field product must be equal to the reflected electric field with respect to the incident magnetic field. So this must be satisfied. Okay. So once these fields are identified, next we have to substitute this whole parameter in these equations. Okay. Now here, if you substitute EA means it is EA1 and EA1B. Substitute, add it. What is HB? HB is reflected potential and reflected current. So reflected current with respect to H1B, and this is E1N and this is E1B. So EA cross HB, EB cross HA. Now you have to substitute all these parameters here. So here I have substituted. First equation I am getting with respect to EA cross HB as V1A into I1B, means incident potential at port 1 multiplied with the reflected current, okay, because it is indicated as a incident potential reflected current, minus V1B into I1A. V1 is the reflected potential and I1 is the incident. It must satisfy. If you take this component this side, it will be in minus. So here it is minus sign is there, and right hand side will be 0. So here V1, understand this properly. So V1 is the incident, I1B is the reflected. So I and reflected. Similarly, V1B is the reflected potential and I1A is the incident. So it is satisfying or not? It is satisfying. Similarly, so here what will be our cross section? E1 cross H1, because here E1 and H1 is there. So it is E1 cross H1. So this is 1. Done. Plus, now if you solve for the port 2, this is for port 1. Similarly for port 2, if you solve, then V2A is the incident, I2B is the reflected minus reflected into incident current into what will be the cross product? E2 cross H2. So E2 cross H2 dot ds, which is equals to 0, because I have taken this component this side. I have to add the total power for port 1 and port 2, resultant must be 0, because as per the equation what we have considered. So it is equals to 0. Then what is S1 and S2? S1 is the cross section of port 1, S2 is the cross section of port 2. Then next, as we know that these are the parameters for the admittance. Either you can go for impedance matrix, either you can go for admittance matrix. As the equations are written in terms of VA1, I1B and all these things, any one form you can substitute. Here I have used admittance relation. Okay, let's see. So the cross section of port 1 and cross section of power at port 2. So total power must be equal. So this is equals to 1. Next, if it is equals to 1, this is 1 and this is 1. Remaining is V1A into I1B minus V1B into I1A for the port 1 plus V2A I2B minus V2B I2A for the port 2. So here you can see I have written for port 1 and this one is port 2. Okay. Now what you have to do? You have to substitute this I1B, I1A, I2B, I2A in terms of I1 and I2. So when you are writing in terms of I1A, you will get I1A, Y11, V1A and Y12, V2A. Similarly, when you are writing in terms of I1B, you will get I1B, Y11, V1B, Y12, V2B. Okay, let me write that equation for you. So up to this it is clear. I will erase this. So first I will identify I1A. So I1A means Y11 into V1A, Y12 into V2A for the port 1 and port 2 incident. Similarly, I1B, I will get Y11, V1B, Y12, V2B. Done. So this is with respect to I1A and I1B. So this is with respect to port 1. Similarly, for port 2, I2B is equals to Y11, V1B, Y12, V2B. Similarly, sorry, this is A, I2A. So here we will get V1A and here we will get V2A. And I2B is equals to V11, V1B plus Y12 into V2B. Like this we can represent. Now once this represent is known, substitute in this equation. After disseminating it, you will get V1A into V2B minus V1B into V2B whole into Y12 minus Y21 is equals to 0. Now, since the potential cannot be equals to 0, your admittance may equals to 0. So what I will do, I will make this component as equals to 0. So if you make this Y12 minus Y21 equals to 0, that means we will get Y12 is equals to Y21, or we can write Z12 is equals to Z21. So that means it satisfies Zij is equals to Zji or Yij is equals to Ji. So this we have satisfied by considering the fields, electric field and magnetic fields. Okay, with respect to the relations, with respect to the incident port with respect to the reflected part for port 1 and port 2. So whatever the things we have identified, I have substituted here. So this will be V2A. Okay, I2, this is Y21, sorry, this is Y22 because it is V1A and this is V2A. Okay, so this is Y21 and this is Y22. Make the correction because here I have substituted the same value. Y2 will be this much. So when you are substituting A, substitute A. When you are substituting B, substitute B. Substitute all these known parameters in this equation and then solve it. You will get all the answer. Okay. So it will be in terms of V1A dot V2B minus V1B into V2B whole into Y12 minus Y21 equal to 0, and potential cannot be equals to 0 because we are energizing it. So only thing that admittance is left. If total admittance is 0, means it will act as a reciprocity. So Y12 equals to Y21 or Z12 equals to Z12 equals to Z21, or which I can write Zij is equals to Zji or Yij is equals to Yji. So this is the basic relation. This is the basic proof. Basically in exam they will ask what is the reciprocity theorem in terms of impedance matrix or in terms of admittance matrix. That means you have to derive all these things. Okay. So this is the basic analysis behind the two-port network, as we have considered that other ports are short-circuited. So two-port network, reciprocity theorem in terms of electric field and magnetic field, which is converted into potential and current relation. Incident potential, reflected potential, incident current, reflected current for port 1, incident potential, incident current, reflected potential, reflected current at port 2. So with the help of this sort of relation, we have proved that reciprocity theorem. Okay. Okay. So this is the last part what we are going to discuss. Next class we are going to solve few numericals regarding the impedance as well as admittance calculation for a different sort of two-port network. Okay. So here it is a lossless network. As I have told, there is a lossless line. The conditions are there with respect to the lumped parameter. But how we will represent in terms of impedance, okay, or in terms of admittance? Because when we are discussing about the network, that means the first thing will come into picture that what sort of parameters are there. So network parameters are discussed about only with respect to the Z parameter, Y parameter, ABCD parameter. Other parameters are also there, transmission parameter, hybrid parameters, okay. And there is a relationship between Z and Y, Z and ABCD, ABCD with Y, and other parameters are also there. So for the simplicity, I have written, considering a reciprocal lossless network. Reciprocal lossless network means Z12 is equals to Z21, okay, or Y12 is equals to Y21. It must satisfy the reciprocity. So I am considering a lossless input network, and the element of the impedance or the admittance matrix must be purely imaginary. Okay, must be purely imaginary. So if purely imaginary, we have to consider because it will reflect with respect to the propagation constant. Then next, if the network is a lossless, its real power delivered at the load will be 0, because we are considering that impedance and admittance are purely imaginary components. So real part must be 0. So if it is 0, let me write an equation. Real of average power, it must be equal to 0. Means real power is 0. It will depend upon only the complex value, imaginary. So let us consider how to define the average power. Average power is half V into I. Okay. So half V into I complex. And what is V? V is the impedance into current. So I into I complex. So this V1 is the incident potential and I is the reflected current. According to that, what we have seen in the previous reciprocal. Incident potential with reflected current, if you multiply, maximum power we are going to deliver. and maximum power we are going to deliver means it must be complex in nature, real power must be 0. So here I have written Z into I plus means incident into complex. Complex means reflected one. Now if you multiply and open it, you will get half Z into I star. Okay. Now I1 Z11, if you elaborate it, okay, if you elaborate means if it is a two-port network, so two-port network means Z is Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22, and with respect to the current I1 and I2. So I1 Z11 I complex conjugate, then I1 Z12 I2 complex conjugate plus other terms will be available. Now if you see all these component, that means your row and column will vary as nth component, n cross n. If it is a n cross n matrix, your n indicates number of row, small m indicates number of column. So half n equals to 1 to n, m equals to 1 to n, Im, Zmn, In complex. So when the currents are equal, or you can multiply this Im into In, and the current, if it is same current is flowing, we will get real of I into I complex will become mod of I square into Zmn. Current cannot be 0, current must be there, but the impedance we have to make it 0. So for lossless line, your real value of Zmn must be equal to 0. So this is the condition for lossless network in terms of impedance. Similarly, you can write this one in terms of admittance also. Real of Ymn is equals to 0. So these are the simple relation, because these relations we are going to discuss once again with respect to scattering parameter. It will be easy to understand. Okay. So this is the lossless network reciprocity theorem we have seen, and we have seen how to analyze the impedance, how to analyze the admittance. Next class we are going to discuss about the numericals. Okay. Till then, thank you all.